Let's visit a Ukrainian home. In this video, we will talk about Ukrainian breads and our tradition around bread. As usual, we have our Petrikivka painting already framed on the wall. I cannot wait to show you the illustration by our guest artist for today. She has drawn the most pictured building in Ukraine. So come with me. The main story is illustrated in detail by Alena Tarasova, based in Mykolaiv, Ukraine. And I am Victoria Romanishina, Kherson, Ukraine, here to tell you about my beautiful Ukraine. Dara lived a dame with her dog and a cat in her old Ukrainian house. The cat was mild and loved, the dog was charming, naughty and very talented. This series is called Cultural Appreciation Series. In this series, we have 12 videos illustrating the main story. Meanwhile, in each video we will have several sub-series and guest artists. You see the Petrikivka painting framed on the wall. It features a different berry each video. The berry for this video is blueberry. Blueberry is chornitsa in Ukrainian. Ukraine is 8th largest producer of blueberries in the world. You should try Ukrainian blueberry dumpling vareniki, perfect for breakfast or dessert. I serve it with sour cream. My grandma had some very well-yielding blueberry bushes. They are upright bushes with a relatively shallow, fibrous root system and woody canes. Fruit, it is borne on buds formed during the previous growing season in late summer. The flower for today is magnolia. When magnolia flowers bloom in Ukraine, we all make it a point to visit them. The magnolia family is one of the oldest trees in existence. It was named by a botanist. Guess what his name was? Pierre Magnol. The magnolia and the vase were drawn by Dunya Dayanovi from Serbia. If I don't say that, you won't believe that it is an image of the picture drawn that we added as a decoration to the room. The flower stands for perseverance, endurance and fortitude, which all of us need much right now. Our guest artist is a fellow Ukrainian Darina Bogdan from Volyn town of Kovel, who has drawn for us the beautiful bell tower of Kiev. As I mentioned already, it is the most pictured building of Kiev. It is called Velika Lavrska Dзвіниця in Ukrainian and is the main bell tower of the ancient cave monastery of Kiev-Pechersk Lavra in Kiev. The monastery has been a preeminent center of Eastern Orthodox Christianity. We will talk about it again later in the video. High-resolution images of all this work is available in the flipbook. Here we are starting to see the second picture of the series. This is the story of old mother Hubbard and her dog. The original story is said to have been set in England and was one of the most popular publications of the 19th century. In this series, we have turned it around and made it a Ukrainian story. In the first picture, you were introduced to Ukrainian grandmother Hubbard, her dog Brovko and cat Murka. We saw that Mother Hubbard's cupboard was empty, so the dog Brovko got no bones. So today's section of the rhyme goes: she went to baker's to buy him some bread, but when she came back, the poor dog was dead. Oh no, the story took a sad turn? Don't fret too much, just remember that the dog is naughty. Did you hear the grandmother went to the baker's? Bread for all heads. This is what Ukrainian families have said since ancient times. This expression still prevails in traditional Ukrainian families. In Ukraine, bread has long been a symbol of hospitality and well-being. For many centuries, the Ukrainian people treated it as something sacred. My grandmother always taught me that bread should be respected and it has a soul. Often in Ukrainian families, guests are greeted with bread and salt. The traditional hands survived from the time of my grandmother's use until today. Grandmother and grandfather never threw away crumbs and fragments of bread but gave them to their poultry or cattle. It was considered a sin not to eat a piece, and if such a piece fell to the ground, it was appropriate to pick it up, clean it from dust, kiss it, and finish it. I still remember that bread cannot be thrown away. If it is stale, I give it to the birds. My grandmother taught my mother, and my mother taught me, that when baking bread, you should not quarrel at home, otherwise the bread will not rise. Homemade bread is special. It smells of comfort. You cannot buy this in a store for all the money in the world. I would say even world-famous baguettes cannot compare with homemade Ukrainian bread. I have never baked bread myself. Everything is simple for me. I go to the store and buy it. But this is not the same bread as in my childhood. Grandma always baked bread by herself in the oven. It was a long and difficult process. The secret of delicious bread is the sourdough, which had to infuse and ferment. Grandmother said that the round shape of bread is connected with the fact that even our ancestors compared bread to the sun. In Ukraine, they say, you cannot get bored of bread, even the tastiest delicious red fish or caviar, but never bread. Even today, bread must be present on every Ukrainian table. Now though there is a huge range of dishes for every taste. But in Ukraine, many dishes are still eaten with bread. In Ukraine, special bread is baked for certain holidays. Wedding bread is called karovai. This incredibly beautiful bread is a symbol of the union of two families. This tradition prevails at Ukrainian weddings that when the bride and groom enter the festive hall, their parents meet them with bread and salt on a Ukrainian embroidered towel. This is a symbol of parents blessing the newlyweds and wishing well-being to the newly created family. On Easter, Ukrainians bake paska. This is a sweet Easter bread with candied fruit, raisins or nuts decorated with chocolate or icing. We have kept both of these breads, with a bread bowl of borscht, Ukrainian national dish, for you on the coffee table. Ukrainian borscht is made with red beetroots as one of the main ingredients which give the dish its distinctive red color. It is a hearty soup of beef and a variety of vegetables, root vegetables and cabbage predominantly. The soup is often eaten with a sour cream garnish and with pirozhki, turnovers filled with beef and onions. My mother's borscht was even better than my grandmother's, I would say. Even my grandmother admits that. What you are watching is an Instagram reel from Empowered showing the borscht recipe made by local Ukrainian. As part of the Cultural Appreciation series, Empowered has also created Instagram recipes with handle @delicious-recipes. Please follow our Instagram account as there are animated recipes that you can review in a minute to start cooking. They are all made by locals from their kitchen. All links are below. Please support our efforts to spread the beauty of different cultures. I have to tell you a bit more about the monastery Pecherska Lavra. A lavra is a senior monastery while Pecherska means of the caves. The Greek Saint Anthony founded this lavra in 1051, after Orthodoxy was adopted as Kievan Rus official religion. He and his follower Feodosy progressively dug out a series of catacombs where they and other reclusive monks worshipped, studied and lived. The story is when they died, their bodies were naturally preserved without embalming by the cave's cool temperature and dry atmosphere. The mummies survive even today, giving confirmation for believers that these were true holy men. Now the bell tower has a library, a massive chiming clock and 3 original bells on display. Baroque architecture originated in the 17th century. Its interior design included highly decorated walls, moldings, sculpted wood mirrors, painted ceilings, crystal candelabres, and gilded finishes. Back to our story, since the dog is assumed dead, we have to say something about the funeral rituals of Ukraine. According to the Orthodox services that many Ukrainians use for their funerals, people believe that the soul stays near the body for 3 days following the death. Family members and friends come to say their final goodbyes alongside an open casket on these 3 special days. There are many other traditions, but we will look at the next video to see whether we need to discuss much about the dog's death. Hope you enjoyed the virtual trip to Ukraine. I invite you to visit our glorious Ukraine and enjoy the most delicious Ukrainian dishes. Please join me on the next video of the series. If you have not seen the first, please do.